Yo, what up, everybody? Big Dog back here again, coming at you from Big Dog Sports. NFL Week 2. We killed it Week 1. As always, I don't have time to edit. I want to show you my picks. But look. I made the decision. I made a big decision. I got the Discord back up and running. I'm pretty sure I'll have a link by the time I post this video to get it on here. And on there, I'm going to be posting my picks early. Like my Discord already has, and it's free, by the way. My Discord already has my picks for this week, at least my main initial picks. And I've already shared with them screenshots of bets I've already hit in week 1. Had a great week 1, went up a couple units. So, yeah, get on the Discord because it's so much easier for me doing whatever I'm doing in life with all my kids and all the stuff I got going on to just post on Discord screenshots versus me doing everything I got to do to be able to get on here, record a video, and post it on YouTube on time. So if you are missing out, if you are not on my Discord, it's free and it's the best thing you could do if you want my picks early, if you want to ask me questions, all of that. Let's get to the picks. It is Thursday night football. Packers, Commanders. Man, it's going to be a great game. Great game. Not better than the Bills and the Ravens on Sunday night football. That might have been game of the year. Josh Allen is made of something else. The man is not human. Incredible. And the Ravens look legit. I mean, we know they're legit. We've seen them win over and over again. But, dude, they look unstoppable. It's going to have to be the same way Josh Allen did it to beat them. Something like that. Just last minute. Just you got to outlast them. You got to keep coming back, punching them in the face. Defense has to come up. That big fumble to Derrick Henry. To beat him, it's going to be like that. Otherwise, the Ravens are unstoppable. They may not win. They may not lose another game for the rest of the year, but we'll see. Let's talk about this game. Commanders, Packers. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification. Drop a comment below asking me for the Discord. Do it. That's what I should do. I shouldn't even put it in the description of this video. I should just have you guys ask for it in the comment section so y'all can help me with my videos. That would be great. I appreciate that a lot. So, yeah, you want the Discord? Ask me for it, and I'll be gladly copy and paste it for you. But help the channel out, really. Want the channel to get big, popular, famous. That way we can continue giving free picks because I don't want to sell picks. But I love talking about it, giving picks, and I'll do it for free, especially if I'm making money from YouTube. You hear my kids in the background. It'd be great if they were to be quiet, but we'll see if I'm gonna have that luxury. All right, so we have. Look, I think Green Bay is gonna win the game based on what we saw them do to Detroit, right? They should win the game. I think the Commanders are going to cover. I'm going to keep it a stack with you. I bet on the Commanders to cover. I mean, they're just such a complete team. And the fact that the Packers beat the Lions that bad, I think it's an overcorrection from Vegas to make the Commanders plus 3.5. I think the Packers should be favored by the field goal, minus 2.5. And that way now it's like, oh, you're really enticed to bet the Packers. But Vegas wants us to bet the Commanders. They're giving us a plus 3.5. They're giving us that hook because they suspect that the Packers are going to beat on the Commanders. So they're trying to if you understand how Vegas works, when you see a line like this, plus 3.5, that hook, they're not your friend. Oh, it's great. This is a trap. That's what they're saying. They're saying, yes, please continue to bet on the Commanders because we know you're going to get screwed and the Packers are going to win by over 4 points. That's what Vegas is telling us in this game. Guess what? I'm an idiot. I'm taking the plus 3.5. I've seen too much from the Commanders to just say, oh no, completely write them out. They got decent defense. They got a decent offensive line. They have one of the best QBs in the league. They got a good running game, great receivers, multiple weapons everywhere. Tight end, both top receivers. Of course, the running back situation with Eckler there as well. Man, there's a lot. JCM, and the one thing, especially for you guys playing props, I really like what I saw from JCM, the running back Jacoby or whatever his name is. But the Packers don't are really good against the run. So yeah, keep that in mind. The Packers are really good against the run. So they're probably going to make it difficult on them. Okay, over and under. I'll go over just because we've seen that trend where games were like, oh, we think the defense is going to be a factor, but then you got these teams just they won't quit, they won't give up, and then it goes over because they just keep coming back and finding ways to score. So 48.5 is a lot, but these two offenses can make it happen. Officially here online, I'm not going to give the Commanders to win because the Packers are at home, Lambeau Field. Their team is looking really good. Can the Commanders win this game? Yes. I can't give it as an official pick, but I will give them to cover the spread. And the fact that the line is still plus 3.5, and I know people are hammering it, and Vegas still isn't moving, it gives me concern. It gives me concern that this line has not moved down to minus 2.5. Vegas knows something we don't know. The Packers are supposed to win this game, and I'm going to believe them. Packers win. Commanders cover. I'm not in good faith going to bet the Packers minus 3.5 against the Commanders. Yeah. Prop bets. I have prop bets, but ask me for the Discord, and you can see them on there. This video is going to be too long, and I got to get back to work if I'm honest with you. Look, this is worth putting a flyer on. The plus 540, and not for the reasons that you think. If my kids don't be quiet, I'm gonna snap. I need them to stop talking so I can record this video. All right, the Browns can win this game, but you know why it is that I'm saying that? It's not because of anything I saw week one. Week one tells me the Ravens should win this game by 2 touchdowns or more. So it's not because of that. Okay. It's because when I went to go look into the history, the last 10 matchups, the Browns have beat the Ravens recently with Lamar and with Deshaun Watson and Jameis Winston. I'm like, wait, what? It didn't make any sense. There's something about these teams that they know each other. You know, I guess it's because they play often. I don't know. But the Browns have beat the Ravens when they weren't supposed to. That scares me. It scares me so much. There's nothing on tape that tells me that the Ravens should lose this game. Okay? Nothing. Okay, Browns have a good defense. That's it. But man, I'm scared. The Ravens should win this game. I'm going to bet the Ravens in my parlays. I don't know about money line. Minus 770 is gross work. But to win by a field goal, most commonly, to be honest with you, what I got is to win by a touch by 6 points. The minus 5.5 is my most common bet for this game. I think they're gonna win, but I'm not. I'm telling you. Remember, if this happens, remember that I told you this. Plus 540 is a great price for a team that can do some crazy stuff. And Joe Flacco knows how to win games. They almost beat the Bengals. I made money, and you made money if you listen to me. When I told you there's 100 reasons why to back the Browns week 1 plus 5.5 versus Burrow. Guess what? They almost won, and they covered the plus 5.5 easy. The defense could have held them up, and the offense looked terrible. Browns got a good defense. So please, if you're a sprinkler, you like to sprinkle on some dog money, sprinkle that plus 540. Don't let it get past you. You can sprinkle the plus 11.5. They could probably cover that. All based off the fact that I don't know why the Browns have beaten the Ravens recently. With that being said, gun to the head, Ravens win this game by like 21 points. They're that good. They're that good. So, yeah. Sorry. Okay. Rams, Titans. I'm going to try to go as fast as I can on games that I don't need to talk too much about. Rams win, Rams cover. Titans looked good last week. I'm hearing a lot of people say that, but you need to be a little more honest with yourself if you saw that game. Some people interpretation of that game because it was against the Broncos is, oh, the Rams are good. The Titans look good. They're not as bad as you think they are, or the Cam Ward is not as bad as you think they are. I saw that differently. I saw a Broncos team who looked horrendous, and the only reason they were to come back and win that game is because the Titans were even worse. Sure, you can attest that to both defenses. I'm sure some of that is true. But in the meantime, until I see something different, I did not like what I see from the Titans. I did not like what I see from Cam Ward for most of that game, except a few spots here and there. So I'm going to go with the team that looks amazing to me, which is the Rams. Sure, they made a couple mistakes, but they look good. They're complete. That whole Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams and Kyron Williams and Matthew Stafford and everybody else on that squad, yeah, that is legit. Okay. I'm going with the Rams to win the game. Lions and Bears. Look, I'm going to go with the Lions. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if the Bears covered or if they flat. Lions should win that Bears game. Look, here's what I'm going to do. And I always say this and I fail. I feel pressured right now for the people who just want a quick analysis to just not talk. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you my picks, and then I'm going to come back and break it down. I'm going to come back to this Bears-Lions game. Lions win, Bears cover. Buffalo wins. I want to talk. Be careful. Jets can cover. Dallas wins, Dallas covers. Potential upset game here. No Brock Purdy. Saints cover. Put them in your teasers. They could win the game. They could win the game. I like what I saw from the Saints more than what I saw from the Titans. Huh? No, she's not. She's going to wait till I'm done with this video. I'm going to go with the Saints to win, Saints to cover. Patriots win, Patriots cover. Jacksonville wins, Jacksonville covers. Steelers win, Seahawks cover. Colts win, Colts cover. Panthers cover, Cardinals win. Barely. I did not like what I saw from them. Eagles win and cover. 0-2 for your Chiefs. Vikings win. There goes that hook again. I want to talk. Falcons cover. Okay, Falcons cover. Who wins? I'm going to go Falcons. Texans win. Tampa covers. Chargers win. Chargers cover. But man, that is tempting. That is tempting. I'll go Raiders cover. That's it, right? All right. For those of you who are anxious to get off, goodbye. Time for me to go talk now. Back to the Bears and Lions. So, I'm going to answer this call live, bro. My mom's calling me, and I'm going to be on here for 30 minutes. I'm not going to edit. I'm not cutting out these videos. No, she didn't answer. Calling again. Lions should win the game, but you know that it is going to be Ben Johnson's first game back in Detroit. The Bears, that last game, how do they look? They look good. They looked better, but they still look like the Bears. And Caleb Williams, man, he missed some throws that it's like, how do you miss those throws? And when you play great teams, those type of mistakes you can't make them. Like to beat a team like Detroit, you really can't make mistakes. You gotta let Detroit beat themselves and then make mistakes. And you gotta be immaculate, bro. Look at what happened with Ravens and Bills. Just one mistake, Derrick Henry, and that was it. You know, look at Dallas versus the Eagles. They were in that game. CeeDee Lamb, 1 or 2 missed catches. That's it. That's the game. And I feel like that's what this game is about. That the Lions are not going to make more mistakes than the Bears. And at the end, it's going to cost them and it's going to be close. But the Lions could come here and just demolish the Bears. What's Vegas saying? Vegas got the line as -6.5. Means Vegas wants you to bet the Lions. So let's go. Let's listen to Vegas's trickery. Let's bet the Bears. That +6.5. Let's bet the Bears. They can keep it close. They know each other. Ben Johnson knows everything those guys are trying to do on that other side. Caleb Williams has a ton of weapons, and the Lions are a little shook up from that loss against Packers. So the Bears are gonna keep the game close. This game, listen, divisional games. And I'm gonna look this up right here live. I want to see Bills versus Jets history. And the Jets are home. The Jets look good week 1 versus the Steelers. Justin Fields looked good. Bills at home by a bunch. Away, Bills by 3. And the Jets are better now than they were last year. And I bet you that was like a comeback win. At home, Bills by a lot. Jets at home, they won. So what I'm seeing here, while Jets won at home again in 2022, that home matters. All right. All right. Everybody is on a high with the Bills beating the Ravens. There's that +6.5 again. Vegas is saying hammer the Bills. All right. I'm going to tell you again. Bills should win the game. But the Jets cover. That's not what I was going to say. I mean, that is what I wanted to say, but when I meant, I'm going to say this again, the money line. +250 on this dog, and then everybody's like, oh my God, what happened? The Jets. The Jets are still suck, all right? They're still not going to win a bunch of games. Uh-oh. I think I might have to stop recording. My kids. I tried to do the last video without editing and cutting it off, but I had to attend to my kids. I couldn't do it. More editing, less time I got to post this video before the games tonight. The game tonight. All right, I'm upset, but I'm trying to regroup. Woo! Daddy duties. I don't know what was the last thing I told you, but this is where I want to continue from. The Jets can win this game. And I just showed you from the history that it's possible. And the Jets right now are better than they have been in recent years. So while everybody is high and mighty on the Bills, don't sleep on the Jets to get a backdoor cover and maybe even win this game. And everybody's like, oh my God, the NFL doesn't make sense. How did the Bills beat the Ravens? And then they come and then they lose to the Jets. It doesn't make sense. What's happening? It's week 2. And the first 3 weeks of the season, crazy stuff happens. And a lot crazier than a divisional dog coming as an underdog to beat a team that they play well. It's not far fetched. Sprinkle on the Jets, money line, but definitely sprinkle on the +6.5. What I do on games like this, I'll buy the point. I'll put the Jets +7.5. Cover the touchdown and sprinkle on that as a straight bet. I'm probably going to do that. I'm going to sprinkle on the money line. For you round robiners, hey, throwing Jets money line, the Browns money line, maybe the Bears money line. I don't think they're going to win. But anyway, there's a lot of dogs this week. I think it's going to be the dogs barking. We had a lot of favorites last week. I don't see that happening again this week, man. Some dogs are going to bark like Gene Silva. We're going to have problems. Look, I really like what I saw from the Cowboys. I do, I will. The Cowboys look good. They look like a full squad. Are they going to miss Micah Parsons? Absolutely. Is that going to matter in this game versus Russell Wilson? Probably not. And they're back at home. Man, that was a good game versus the Eagles. And George Pickens didn't even really get that much involved yet. Although there was a penalty, a DPI, defensive pass interference on a play that would have been about 20 yards. But hey, they got the DPI. The Giants, look, we were right. Their defense looks pretty good. Their offense, though, man, they can't buy a bucket like they say in NBA. They can't buy a score, bro. So until I don't see something more from the offense, I'm not gonna bet in favor of something I haven't seen yet. And what I seen from the Cowboys was great. Let's look at the history. Cowboys versus Giants history. When was the last time the Giants beat the Cowboys? And these are divisional dogs, divisional teams. 2021 in New York, barely. And then again, all Cowboys. It's not time to fade the Cowboys in this rivalry, if you want to call it that. If you didn't know, I'm a Giants fan. I'm not happy to be saying this. That -4.5. How does the spread usually go? Cowboys win by 7. Cowboys win by 5. Cowboys win by 1,000. Cowboys win by 2,000. Cowboys win by 8. Cowboys win by 6, 7. Cowboys just don't stop winning. They cover. All right, I'm gonna straight bet the Cowboys. That line to me is off. I'm trying to find, and that to me is the line. You want me to be honest with you? That might be my lock of the week. I haven't even made a lock of the week. That might be it. I don't see how the Cowboys don't cover 5 points versus my Giants. I'll let you know if I like another lock of the week more. The Jets +6.5. That's a scary proposition there. But it might just happen. The Saints could win this game. I'm not gonna bet that, but I would bet them to cover the 3. I love the Saints in some teaser bets, just buying a couple points on them to not lose by more than a touchdown, maybe 10 points. I like what I saw from the Saints. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. And it's not so much Rattler that I love. But again, he has a lot of weapons, man. Olave, Kamara. They got weapons. Jawan Johnson. Yeah, the Saints can do it. And they're home. Is that the same division? This might be a divisional dog. I forgot if the Saints are in the same division as the 49ers. And I feel like they're not. It's like I want them to be, but something in me is telling me no. They're not. I should have just gone to ESPN.com. I knew it was going to be a lot faster there. I was right. They're not. They're in the NFC South. Okay. You know what I'm going to do, right? Niners versus Saints history. Okay. 2022 Niners won at home. 2020 Saints won by a good margin. 2019 Niners barely beat them. No. 2019, yeah. Niners barely beat them. 2016, that's what it was. The Saints won. They're like alternating wins and losses here. No Brock Purdy. If I didn't say that, that's why. Yeah. I like the Saints, man. I'm buying points on the Saints. I like this. This trend is great, and the Saints are home. Yeah. I like that a lot. Might be another lock of the week right there. Another lock of the week right there. Another lock. Yo, look, Vegas. You got to understand how Vegas works. This next game, Patriots versus Dolphins, there is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing that I saw on tape from either of these two teams that should make the Dolphins favored. I already bet the Patriots money line. The Patriots should not lose this game. They're good across the board. Good quarterback, good receivers, running back, defense, coaching. The Patriots should not lose this game. Tight end. But this line doesn't move. Vegas says the Dolphins are going to win. Sure, they're home. They're Miami. Oh, my God, it's so hot in Miami. Oh, my God, no. Anybody that goes to Miami, it's so hard to beat them. Look, matter of fact, I'm going to look at the record of Miami last week at home. I don't like Miami. I initially had him pegged as the underdog of the week last week because I didn't really like the Colts, and then I swapped because Miami had some injuries. Another reason why. And it's just the Colts had too many weapons. I'm kind of feeling like it's a lot more the same right here, right now. Anyway. Miami Dolphins record in 2024. Dolphins were 5-3 at home. There you go. They only won 8 games and 5 of them were at home. So Vegas is right to say Miami plays well at home. I don't care. The Patriots are my underdog of the week. I don't get it. I don't like it. Let's go to the Patriots. Maybe I can find something to convince me to ignore this. This is what happened to me last week with the Lions. I convinced myself live the Lions could not lose to the Packers and they got blown out. I've convinced myself that the Dolphins don't have what it takes to beat the Patriots. Okay, let's see. Well, here you go. This is why. Dolphins last year beat the Patriots by 30. These are not the same Patriots of last year. In the beginning of the year, the Dolphins went to New England and beat on them there. And then, so last 4 matchups, and it's been ugly. The Dolphins dominate the Patriots at home. Ugly. Okay. The last time the Patriots beat the Dolphins was in 2023. My goodness. Now I know why the line is the way it is. Miami owns the Patriots. And in the last however many years this is, they're in the same division. They're There it is. That makes sense. So Vegas knows this. The Patriots have not beat the Dolphins in Miami. I can't find it. I can't find it. Since 2017. The Patriots have not beat Miami in Miami since 2017. And they've been losing to Miami nonstop. All right, I get it. Finally. See, that's why it's good that we do this stuff. There's no way I would have known that without first looking it up. I told you something was fishy with this line. And the fishiness, that horrible scent, is the historical trend. And still, that's how you know the Patriots are really a different squad. They're still only plus 1.5. So what do I favor? What I've been seeing with my eyes with both these teams last week and the end of last year, or all the historical data that tells me New England does not know how to beat Miami in Miami. Do you have a migraine yet? Because I do. My head's going to explode. I can't do that much math. All right. I'm sticking to my guns. The Patriots are better. But be careful with this game. That's all I'm going to say. Look, the lines are close enough that whatever side you like, you can make money. You don't got to parlay this game. If you like the Patriots, if you're a Patriots fan, hammer them. The team is good. If you like the Dolphins and you like the information, the data I just gave you, bet the Dolphins. It's okay. It's probably going to come down to the wire anyway. Dolphins probably win this game. I'm not going to pick that, though. I bet on the Patriots. I'm not cashing it out. Patriots win, Patriots cover. I'm going to get that wrong. Oh, this game, another headache. Somebody tell me why I chose to do these breakdowns on YouTube. Why? Why? You know why? Because I didn't choose this life. This life chose me. And here I am. Bengals are struggling, and defensively, they're struggling. I'm going to go check the history. You know we're going to do it. But I'm telling you right now, the Jacksonville Jaguars are much improved. The Bengals have not figured out their defensive woes, and their offense has not clicked yet. Although it can click here. We know the power of Joe Burrow and this Cincinnati Bengals offense. They were arguably the best offense last year. These boys can ball. So be careful. But we are going to continue to fade their defense. So when it comes to picking a spread, I'm going to go Jacksonville. It worked out last week. Last week, I was conflicted because we know that Joe Burrow can win by 30 points, but we know that he can lose because his defense won't keep him in the game. I'm going to go with the Jaguars plus the points. I'm going to continue to fade in this defense. But just like last week, and I got both right, I'm going to pick the Bengals. Their offense is a powerhouse. Their offense is incredible. So I'm going to pick that. Okay? But I'm still not going to pick them to cover no spread. I would have been more enticed if they were minus 2.5. But at the plus 3.5, okay, Vegas. I'll take the hook. I'll be the idiot. Two defensive teams. And that's what's supposed to be last week, too. And still, the Steelers and Jets went over. But the Seahawks, man, they look pretty good against the Niners. They made a lot of mistakes, but the Steelers make a lot of mistakes. I'm not going to bet against Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh with all the fans there. He showed some grit. I am worried about the fact that they made Breece Hall look like Christian McCaffrey or B. John Robinson or Saquon Barkley. So that tells me that they got to work on their run defense. And if that's the case, they got Kenneth Walker coming to town and Zach Charbonnet. So they might be in trouble. But then again, that might have a lot to do with the fact that the Steelers defense is trying to protect against Justin Fields, who scrambles and can run for 50 yards in a drive. So we might see a little bit more of who the Pittsburgh Steelers really are here, which is a good football team. And they could just flat out win by a ton. But hey, look, the line is even. If I bet the Steelers -3 and they win by 3, it's a push. If I bet the +3 on the Seahawks, it's a push. I might as well be more protected with the +3. Steelers got to win by 4 touchdowns, which they don't do often, so I'm going to leave it. I forgot to check the stats on Jaguars and Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals versus the Jaguars. Bengals win OT. Bengals win by 3. Bengals win by, what is that, 6 or something. No, that's more than 6. It's like 8. Bengals lose at home. Bengals lose away. And then Bengals win. You see, so there's not like, yeah, the Bengals got it, although the all-time Jaguars really got it. But lately, you can see the Bengals are pulling it off. And you've seen these last 3. It was close, man. Bengals had to beat them in overtime 2 years ago when they were better than what they were last year. So, yeah, I'm going Jags. And Jags can probably win that game. But I'm taking the +3.5. Seattle Seahawks, I don't think those teams have played much, although they've changed a lot. Seattle Seahawks versus the Steelers. Steelers by 7. Steelers by a field goal. Seahawks, but these teams have changed a lot since then. In the recent years, Pittsburgh won by 7, but both teams have changed. That doesn't really tell me much. I'm curious, and these are divisional teams, right? Broncos and Colts. Almost positive they're in the same division, right? So when you got, what have we been talking about, these divisional dogs? They're not. I'm glad I checked. No, I was confusing them with the Raiders or Chargers. So they're not divisional dogs. All right, I'm going to just tell you what I saw, and I'm going to look up the history. The Indianapolis Colts looked really good last week. Sure, it was against Miami, though. But you know what you can't deny? The amount of weapons at Daniel Jones's not exposure. What's the word I'm looking for? Right in front of him. Now I want to think about that word. As his disposition. Josh Downs, Michael Pittman, Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Warren. This man has options. And then the defense is legit. Okay. So the Broncos have arguably the best defense in the league. I don't know if you saw that game last week against the Titans. They did not look like the best defense in the league. Okay, fine. Defensively, they were fine. Offensively, though, I was not impressed. And, bro, Bo Nix threw like 2 interceptions. they were struggling, man, and they like moved the football, but then made mistakes and then got stuck, and then weren't scoring. I was so frustrated watching that game. If you saw that game and you had money on the Broncos, you were scared. Admit it, multiple times. So again, I'm not gonna bet on something that I haven't seen yet. I don't bet like that. I don't try to predict. Oh, they're gonna get better. They're gonna get better. This is the week. No, they're not better. They're not good. And I'm saying in general in that situation, if that team is still not performing well, let's not bet for them to fix it all of a sudden because they haven't fixed it. Right? Same opposite. If a team is winning and winning and winning, and then you're like, oh no, this is the week they're gonna lose. This is the week. Dude, they're playing good football or whatever sport it is. They're doing good for a reason. Ride the tide. Don't fade it unless it's a certain spot. So right now, I saw two completely different things. I saw a Broncos team who's going to be good. I like Bo Nix, and he has a lot of weapons. Who's going to be good, but they're not there yet. And then the Colts, who nobody expected to be good immediately, especially with Daniel Jones as their quarterback. Ha ha ha! Remember, I'm a Giants fan. I'm all traumatized with Daniel Jones. And then they just start killing it. So you got two teams who everybody thinks the Colts are going to be trash, and then unless you're a Colts fan. And then you got the Broncos, who everybody's like, oh, they're going to be so good. And then this guy's not performed really poorly week one, and these teams overperform. What are you going to roll with? The trend you're seeing or what they're supposed to be? Week two, I'm going to go with the trend I'm seeing. I got Colts, and I got Colts money line. I'm not putting the Broncos money line on any parlay this week. I am full-blown rooting for the Colts to beat the Broncos. Let's see what the history says. In Denver, Broncos won. In Denver, Colts won. In Indianapolis, Colts won. In Indianapolis, Denver won. In Denver, Broncos won. In Indianapolis, Indianapolis won. Okay, this tells me some, but not a lot, because these games have not been that recent. And the most recent one, Denver won last year in Denver. But now they're back in Indianapolis. And the last time they're in Indianapolis won. And I think this team is pretty good. So give me the nap. I'm taking the plus money, bro. I'm taking the plus money. If Broncos were underdogs, maybe I'll go with them. I'm taking the plus money. Plus money on the Colts. Plus 2.5. Let's speed it up. Cardinals, I was not impressed. But they won. They found a way to win. They pushed through, but I was not impressed. Be careful. And what are we seeing again? 6.5. 6.5 says things. All right, here's my frustration. I can't stand the Panthers. They killed one of my big teaser bets. Because when they lose by so much. There are teams, the Giants are one of those teams too, that when they lose by too much. So it's like you're expecting them to at least keep the game close within 2 touchdowns, 14.5, and then they lose by 15 or more. It's very frustrating. And the Panthers are that type of team. So the Cardinals should win. But because I saw them struggle a bit last week, and like I just said recently, instead of saying, okay, they're just going to fix it all this week, maybe we need to give them time and they still struggle and the Panthers keep it close. With the plus 6.5, I'm tempted to just take the Panthers. Because they're either going to keep a really close game or win or get blown out by 25. And it's like, how are you supposed to predict which of those three teams shows up? You know? So because the Cardinals did not impress me, like they were like just so dominant and like looked unbeatable, I'm going to go with my gut and say the Panthers keep it close. Are they in the same division? They are not. If you can't tell, I always get confused with the NFC West and the NFC South with my memory. All in favor of us looking for the historical stats, say aye in the comment section. Last time they faced each other in Carolina, last year, December, the Panthers won. See what I mean? See what I mean? Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. The Panthers been whooping the Cardinals. 2022, Cardinals won in Carolina. But check this. After that, 5 straight losses to the Panthers. I've seen enough. Panthers plus 6.5. That's the bet. They might win outright. Be careful with Arizona on your parlays this week. Thank Big Dog. Yo, we're almost done, bro. How fast can I break down these last 4 games? I've been gone for a while. I might get fired. Oh, shoot. I had a meeting with my boss at 3:30. I should go get my laptop. Yo, I got to go. All right. Eagles, Chiefs. Eagles win. Kansas got to get their stuff together, their receiver situation together. Eagles got their situation together. They just know how to win games, run the football, keep the ball. Eagles win, Eagles cover. But hey, can the Chiefs win this game? Of course. They're the Kansas City Chiefs. And Hollywood Brown looked good. And Xavier Worthy might play even with the shoulder issue. I don't know, man. For now, Eagles win, Eagles cover. Vikings always find a way to win, bro. They're becoming one of those teams that you just don't want to bet against. I bet against them against the spread, though. I loved what I saw from the Falcons. Michael Penix is going to be really good for them. They got such a squad. And I want to call upset, but Falcons to cover the spread, I think that could happen, and we don't got to be too stressed about it. But Vikings find a way to win again. They just do. They just do. Whether you like it or not, the Vikings know how to win football games. And I was on the Bears. Not that I was like, oh, I love the Bears, but I thought they could beat them. They almost did. Tampa Bay, Houston. Look, Houston has a really good defense. They're going to give Tampa a problem. But again, I just like what I see from Tampa, man. I'm not betting against Tampa. Give me them plus 2.5. Put them up in your parlays to cover, 7, 10, or 14 points, whatever. They could win that game, man, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I'll take Tampa to cover. I'm taking a lot of dogs to cover this week, bro. A lot of dogs to cover this week. Last but not least, Chargers versus Raiders. The Raiders. I called the upset. I told you last week, I'm picking the Raiders to win against the Patriots because of Geno's experience. And last minute, he's going to find a way. And he did. And he did find a way. Chargers look good. Out of principle, I'm going to do what I did last week. I'm going to pick the Raiders to cover the spread, although I picked them to win money line. I do think the Chargers win. They're favored for a reason. I know everybody's high and mighty. Oh, they just beat the Chiefs. They just beat the Chiefs. Yeah, they sure did. But, man, remember, Xavier Worthy got taken out early. Chargers are probably going to win, man. I don't want to do it. If the Chargers were home, I'd go with them. But with the Raiders being home, the way they're looking, as good as Geno is, I think they're going to cover. But the Chargers win this game. Chargers are legit. They got a complete squad, top to bottom. Yo, I got to go. Look, y'all saw me go through it on today's video with my kids, with my job, with everything. The least you could do is do what you're supposed to do to help the channel. Comment below what your thoughts are on this breakdown. Ask for the Discord. And like, subscribe, turn on the notification post. I'm going to try. Look, if I see some action on this video with some comments and stuff, I'll try to post a video here. I'll try to post this week about my props that I like tonight. It's already in my Discord, though. Props that I like tonight. The lock of the week. I would make a video of the underdog of the week, but if you're here, you already saw what it is. Honestly, you already saw what all that is. All right, so scratch all that. That's not going to incentivize you. But I'll make a prop video. There you go. My promise to you is if in the next 2 hours I see some activity in this video, I'll make a prop video, even if it's a YouTube short, and I'll do it from my phone. Anything else I got to say? Man, Charlie Kirk, man. Jesus loves you, man. We got to stand up for good, for our rights. I hope 20 more Charlie Kirks rise up. God bless you guys.